Israeli army. So let's give them our full undivided attention.
Imagine yourself living in a country that is constantly under terrorist attack. I would like you all to enlist in the Israeli army. As an Israeli citizen, I must serve in the army for at least 3 years. Israel's security is a major issue. We must sign up to the army in order to protect Israel. Let's begin with Israel's most pressing problem. That is, Israel's security is a major issue. Israel is known to have problems with its neighboring states. According to the article, Israel Border and Security Problems by Moshe Dayan, published on Foreign Affairs on June 1955, there is no other country in the world community whose right for existence has been so persistently challenged by its neighboring states. Dayan then goes on and says that the hostility of the Arab governments have went through a couple of phases. From a determination of preventing the existence of Israel to an attitude of revenge based on non-recognition and hope of Israel's extinction. Terrorism has also affected citizens' mental health. In the study, The Mental Health Impact of Terrorism in Israel, a repeat cross-sectional study of Arabs and Jews conducted by Mark Gelkoff and his colleagues, published on Acta Psychiatria Scandinavia on May 1st, 2008, it is stated that after 10 months of escalating hostilities towards civilians in Israel, it was found that 9.6% of directly influenced Jewish residents have been met with post-traumatic symptom disorder. Then they say that being part of the Arab minority during times of terrorism in Israel has also contributed to having post-traumatic symptom disorder. So you see the dangers that Israel faces. So what can we do about it? We must sign up to the Israeli army. There's a quick way to sign up to volunteer in the Israeli army. On Mahal IDF Volunteers official website, on an article entitled "Register Without Commitment," with no author or date, sorry about that, it is stated that upon registration, we will pre-check your qualification and then inform you of the next person or place you must contact in order to keep you on the volunteering track. Since you're registered, it's probably sounds you're going to be committed to the army, right? Yet they go on and say that although you're registered, you're not legally binded to the IDF. You can always quit. There are a few roles we can take while in the army. The article titled "Combat Service" on IDF's official website, again, no author or date, says that the infantry corps' objective is to face enemy forces head-on in open combat or in urban warfare. It's either on foot or on armored personnel carriers. They go on and say that if facing the enemy head-on is too much, you can be part of the Field Information Corps. This corps' responsibility is to collect intelligence in the field and distribute the information to other units in the field. Let's look at the positive as well as the negative impact serving the enemy has had. Protecting Israel has many consequences. If we do not protect Israel, many horrible things will happen. Like the incident mentioned in New Intifada Gains Upper Hand on IDF Restraint by Tazvi Ben Gdaliahu, published on Arutz Sheva on February 26, 2012. It says that attack on civilians is so common that 2 Jewish residents narrowly escaped death recently when a rock ambush cut off the highway under the Israeli soldiers' noses. Then Gdaliahu also states that the IDF's policy of keeping a low profile, while the IDF's policy of keeping a low profile to avoid provoking the Arabs, have created a vacuum that terrorists are now exploiting. Yet there is some positive things of serving in the army. The Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs website, an article titled "The State Israel Defense Forces" by unknown author in an unknown date, states that delay in service may be granted to qualified students in institutes of higher education, so you can study, then you can go to the army. Gil Ronen, author of Gaza Division Prepared for Glad Kosher Seder, published on Arutz Sheva on April 4, 2012, mentioned that the rabbi believes that by conducting a Seder, we unite everyone. The IDF is like one united national family. As you can see, Israel's security is a major issue. We must sign up to the Israeli army in order to protect Israel. It is important to protect Israel since it is the only Jewish country in the world, not to mention one of the strongest allies for the USA. There are a few things we can do in order to protect Israel. For one, we can donate money to the Israeli army. We can go to Friends for IDF website to get involved in their activities. Or we can actually enlist in the army. Come on. Those things, along many others, will help everyone who lives in a country that is constantly under terrorist attacks. Thank you.